This is a fully AI animated music video that the famous American rock band Linkin Park released some time ago using Kyber, an AI animation generator. If this can be created by AI without a hitch, it would be very easy to have AI make a nice little animation for us and call it a day. No need to hire an animator, right? Will animators start saying goodbye to their jobs? Well, in our video today, we will explore the ins and outs of this topic. So let's jump right into it.
Before we continue, let me tell you about Skillshare, which is a platform that has hundreds of classes about animation, drawing, illustration, and several other creative fields. We've got you guys this course from Skillshare about animation using Adobe After Effects. The course is mainly designed for intermediates who know some basics about After Effects and keyframes. It is taught by Jake Bartlett, who will teach you how to take full control of your motion. The course includes various topics, including graph editor, anchor points, easing in and out of motion, and many more. The Skillshare platform offers a wide variety of additional related courses, and the first 1,000 people to click the link in the description will receive a free month of premium membership. Alright, now back to the video.
In recent years, we have seen a rise of AI, and most notably for our topic of discussion today, AI 2D art. This trend started humbly, and by that we mean AI 2D art was easily distinguishable from art made by humans. AI art had trouble rendering hands and details. If you would look at it intently, you would quickly start to see the issues with it. However, AI is only getting better. We are already seeing 2D illustrations that look like they're made by an actual human artist. This is worrying people on a big scale. And by a big scale, we mean that we're not talking about just art here. We're talking photos, audio, chatbots, and of course, animation. This panic that AI has brought on does not affect these departments only and stop there. It certainly touches on animation as well. After all, if AI can do 2D art just fine, it is not gonna take much time for it to get accustomed to the ways of animation and will soon be doing that as well. And it is certainly expected to, as the panic that is consuming the 2D art realm is slowly seeping into the world of animation. Luckily, for now at least, AI is still way far off from being able to produce good quality animation the way it does good quality 2D illustration. This does not mean that AI will not improve with time. It certainly will. It's just that the process is in its humble beginnings. Like 2D AI art once was, AI animation is still stiff and has a distinguishable style that can only be described as boring and blended into oblivion. Animation can be incredibly complex to achieve for humans, let alone AI. Currently, we are also seeing a mix of using 2D art generators to assemble scenes and characters, and then use pre-made animation templates to help make an animation. What is produced is usually a stiff corporate-like animation, or other times we see the generation of a blended mess of an animation that is somewhat realistic in nature but bordering the uncanny valley, with no artistic merit at all. For now, it is safe to say that AI is still way far from replacing any animator whatsoever. Apart from being in its infancy, another issue that plagues AI as a whole is the fear of lawsuits over the non-consensual use of the work of other artists as a corpus for AI. If you do not know what this means, it is simply that AI art needs a base to work off of. AI needs a database of sorts. In the case of art, it would be a huge collection of the work of human artists. It will then proceed to learn from that and use it to make new creations. Currently, most AI art generators use the work of other artists that have not consented to their work being used in that way, which has already caused many legal issues. Shanti Escalante Di Mattai writes in an article for Art News. The artists who filed suit claim that the use of these images is a brazen violation of intellectual property rights. In a digital world built on sharing, are tech companies entitled to everything we post online? The article goes on to explain how AI is in total infringement of copyright with its training process, which requires images to be copied and recreated as the model is tested. And where do these images come from when it comes to 2D art artificial generation? The work of countless human artists that have shared their work on the internet. This makes it so that any work produced by AI is thus derivative and very minimally different from its source, ergo infringing copyright law. There are even instances where you can have AI reproduce the art style of a specific human artist. This has already sparked rightful backlash when the work of the late renowned South Korean illustrator Kim Jong-ji's work was fed to AI and thus recreated by AI. Dave Sheet, a comic book writer, tweeted, quote, "This is why we talk so much shit about AI art. Kim Jong-ji left us less than a week ago, and AI bros are already replicating his style and demanding credit? Vultures and spineless, untalented losers. This sets a horrible precedent." End quote. Make of that what you will. With all of this in mind, if AI would ever go the commercial route, things will certainly get heated a lot more. Now take that and try to apply it to the world of animation. Animations take a whole lot of work in comparison to illustration. There is not one person behind them. They're usually produced by a big number of people. And their production usually takes a lot of time. Because there's a lot of effort that goes into them, they're usually sponsored in some way by a non-profit or a for-profit organization. So, whether they're commercial in nature or not, they tend to be owned by a bigger entity than the artists that created them. Oh, and on a side note, by no means do we mean to say that animation is superior to illustration in any way. Not at all. They're just very different in the way they are made. Now mix all of that with the corpus mess of 2D AI illustration art. It will definitely not end well for any AI art generating software. Just imagine if there was an AI art generator specializing in 2D frame-by-frame animation that uses a mix of the biggest 2D animation studios' works, such as Studio Ghibli, Kyoto Animation, or Madhouse. The generator will be lawsuited into oblivion. Man, grab your popcorn, because that would be the Kamehameha of lawsuits. This is perhaps why animation AI generators are still in their infancy while their illustration counterparts have soared in such a short time span. They are far more afraid to touch animation since it is protected by such large entities. No company would ever employ AI that is facing a class action lawsuit and take the fall with it. Now, this is the main worry. It is that corporations in the entertainment industry would forgo artists in favor of the better alternative, AI. Not only is AI not as good as human animators currently, and it might take it a little while longer for it to be as good, but also the legalities of it all would deter anyone from using it commercially. A possibility that would spring from this is that corporations might start considering developing their own AI tools that use a corpus composed of the previous work of the corporation. Think, for example, Disney. They could develop an AI specialized in animation and use the hundreds of films they own as a corpus for it. They could segment it to 2D frame-by-frame animation and 3D animation. This can be used in a number of ways. An advanced, polished, quick, and easy way to generate storyboards. A character generator, a story generator, a scene generator, and much more. How much this will replace animators is really hard to say, especially since this technology is essentially in its infancy. However, with the growth spurts of AI, this can quickly change. But, for now, well, that remains to be seen. If AI is indeed used as a helping tool for animators, will this reduce the amount of job opportunities for artists? Since AI will be handling all of the heavy lifting, corporations could cut costs by cutting the amount of employees it has. Will this contribute to lowering their pay? With the jobs being far and few, animators might be forced to accept jobs with low salaries that they once were used to doing for much better salaries. And most importantly, on a greater scale, how will this affect the economy? If we are truly in a recession, this will definitely hit not only animators hard, but many other jobs and specialties with the AI craze. That was our take on the endless battle between human and machine, Animator vs. AI edition. Let us know what you think in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. We also discussed a similar topic in one of our videos relating to AI and illustration, so if you are interested, be sure to check it out. With that being said, we hope to see you in our next one.